Yo, Larissa, how you been lately, girl? How's my favorite sister-in-law doing? Hey, Bethann. Lately? Just the usual, really. I haven't been up to much. I don't mean that. I mean, do you have a boyfriend yet? No, I don't have a boyfriend yet. Oh, Larissa, you poor, poor thing. Do you really think you can keep going on like this? This is no way for a woman of your age to be living. What's the point in rushing after all this time? It can't be helped. You might be too old to get pregnant now, but there's no reason you can't at least get married. You don't want to be lonely in your old age, do you? Well, no, not really, but still. Hey, wait a sec. Is the reason you're coming at me with all this stuff because you think you guys are going to end up having to care for me when I'm too old to look after myself? Well, think about it, sweetie pie. You do still live with mommy and daddy, and me and Reginald have kids of our own now, so we can hardly afford to have to change your diapers when you get old. Change my diapers? Jeez, Bethann, what are you talking about? Talk about being overly dramatic. Sheesh. I assure you, you'll never have to worry about looking after me. I have plenty of retirement money saved up, so you can just forget about all this and stop worrying. Larissa, now you listen to me, and you listen to me good. Your parents, or your brother, Reginald, my husband, might not have the nerve to say this to you, but you're over-relying on your parents. It's time to grow up. Is that so? Reginald's 8 years your senior, and I think your parents spoil you because you're their youngest. But you're over 30 now, sweetie pie. No matter which way you look at it, it's time to pull your bootstraps up and get your life together. I know independence is scary, but you have to fly the nest at some point. And there was me thinking I already was independent. Oops, forgive me for that, sweetie pie. You caught me off guard. How exactly are you independent? You might have that job you do on your computer, but you still live with your parents. Yes, that's right. Wait a sec. You don't actually think working from home constitutes a real job, do you? You do understand that in the eyes of the world, you're nothing but an unemployed hermit loser, right? Who cares what the world thinks? The bottom line is I make enough money to support myself and pay the rent here. I even help you cover Joseph's college fund, don't I? I can see you're awfully worried about me, but I can assure you I'm not struggling at all, so please stop. Wow, so you chip in a little here and there for my son's college fund. Whoop-de-doodle-doo. What do you want, a medal? Okay, so even if we accept, for argument's sake, that things are okay now, who's to say how you'll be doing in 5 or 10 years? It's time you had a long, hard think about your future, pumpkin pie. You need to bag yourself a man with a stable job soon, before it's too late. Sure, it'd be nice if I met someone. You say that, but you're not even trying. You can't seriously think you have time to be sitting around doing nothing at your ripe old age. You won't be able to find a husband if you wait much longer. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. You really are the most naively optimistic, delusional woman I've ever met. I'm not saying these things to be mean or insensitive. I just want what's best for you. I see. Think about it. Your dad's health isn't great, and he's sure to need care one day, right? And get this, he told me the thought of you still being a lonely old spinster from when that time comes makes him frightfully anxious. You simply cannot go on like this, my dear. Something tells me my dad didn't refer to me as a lonely old spinster, but whatever, Bethann. You can say what you like. Anyway, let me get this straight. What you're saying is that, basically, you and Reginald want to live with my parents and care for them in their old age? No, actually, that's not what I'm saying at all. But if you don't get your life together soon, they're inevitably going to end up relying on me and your brother. And another thing, why the hell do you need 2 rooms all to yourself in that house? Because I use one as a study and one as a bedroom. You think you have a right to everything in that damn house just because it belongs to your mommy and daddy, don't you? Were you raised with no discipline whatsoever? I've never known anyone so spoiled. The bottom line here is that you need to find a man to put a ring on your finger and get your life in order as soon as possible. 'Cause I can assure you, sweetiekins, time waits for no woman. I can't think of anything more tragic or miserable than an old unmarried woman spending her retirement all on her own. And your arbitrary assumptions should matter to me. Why exactly? Do not give me attitude, woman. I am going out of my way to help you here. In fact, I was kind enough to use my free time to find some dating sites and marriage agencies for you to try out. So I need you to put some effort into finding a man on your end, too. Do I make myself clear? You better do what I say. Remember, my sweet little pumpkin pie, I only have your best interests at heart here. I'd never do anything if I didn't think it was what you needed. Larissa, how's the husband hunting going? Did you register on the marriage websites I sent you? It's been over a week now. Surely you have some dates lined up by now. Sorry, I've been busy with work and didn't really get a chance to look. What? This is much more important than work. Look, I can tell you're passionate about my love life, but it's not like I'm obsessed with the idea of finding a man right now. So I'd appreciate it if you'd let me do this at my own pace. Even though I'm giving you all this help for free? How dare you throw my kindness back in my face? Sorry. You really are a nasty piece of work, aren't you, Missy? What did I expect? You are an unmarried old hag in your 30s that's bound to make anyone bitter. I guess it can't be helped. Fine, have it your way. I'll give up on helping you find a man. I only have one thing to ask of you. Will you hear me out? Something to ask of me? What is it? Listen, the thing is, Joseph has told me and Reginald he wants to go to France as an exchange student. So, would you mind doing us a huge favor and asking your parents if they'll help out with some money? I think you'd be better off asking them directly yourselves. Your brother keeps stubbornly refusing. He flipped out at me when I asked, accusing me of trying to waste your parents' retirement fund. But if you ask them, they're bound to help out, right? I don't know why, but they seem to really like you. So please, sweetie, won't you do this for my darling, precious Joseph? You know he'd love you forever and ever if you helped him achieve his dream of going to France. When you say exchange, do you mean short term? How long would he be there for? No, he wants to live there for a year. That's a long time. I somehow doubt my parents would be willing to pay for that even if I asked them. Besides, if my brother's against it, what right do I have to go sticking my nose in? So, what are you saying? That your nephew should give up on his dream? If you are so desperate to send him to France, how about you encourage him to get a part-time job and save up for the trip himself? There'd be no harm in him waiting a few years, and if he could learn the importance of hard working and saving before he went, he'd be in a really good spot to start his new life of independence in a foreign country. No, I want him to go while he's still a student. But it's not mine or my parents' job to realize your dreams. Goodness me, you really are cold. It's not like I'm asking you to lend us money, is it? No, but I'm pretty sure I'd be the one who ended up paying. Ugh, I see you still insist on talking absolute nonsense. It saddens me to see a fully grown woman making what should be a simple conversation so needlessly complicated. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Listen, Larissa, won't you just ask them for me? Won't you just try once? If they say no, I'll never mention it again. Surely that's the least you can do for me. Look, Bethann, I wouldn't normally bring this up, but I feel like you forced my hand. Joseph hasn't been studying at all since he went to college, has he? I hear all he does is go out partying and smoking weed with his friends. I'd have to be a sandwich short of a picnic to lend him so much money given his current priorities. I think you should seriously consider whether he actually needs this money or whether it's even appropriate for him to have it in the first place given his behavior lately before pressuring me for financial support. But he told me his dream is to learn French. Helping your children realize their dreams is a parent's duty, is it not? That's why I'm asking you. Can't you see I'm desperate? Exactly. It's a parent's duty. I am not Joseph's mom. figure it out yourself. Wait a sec. Are you doing this to punish me because you're bitter about not having any children of your own? Excuse me? You're doing this because I got married and had a son while I was still young, aren't you? You're jealous, aren't you? I'm really not. It's fine, I understand. It's only natural you'd act this way, given your situation. You're nothing but a sad, childless, bitter old woman trying to convince yourself you made the right choices by acting like you're above me. It'll be practically impossible for you to have children at your age, after all. If, by some miracle, you did manage to conceive, the baby would probably come out all weird and deformed. That's why you're so cold towards my Joseph, isn't it? Normally aunts spoil their nephews, but to you, he represents what could have been had you not been so hopelessly ignorant of the realities of being a woman. I spoil him in my own way, Beth Ann. I just draw the line at year-long study expeditions to France. He is becoming a little cocky these days, though. Aha! There it is. You won't ask your parents because you're jealous. It's as plain as day. No, like I already told you, you're wrong. You really are the most useless person I have ever met. Anyone would think you'd be more than willing to help out, given that your fate as excess baggage is more or less a guarantee at this point. Mark my words, Missy, no one will be around to help you if you carry on being this nasty and insensitive for much longer. I don't need anyone to help me. You might be able to get away with this atrocious attitude of yours while Mommy and Daddy are still around to keep a roof over your head. You're only doing this because you don't yet understand the harsh realities of life, but I promise you, one day you will. Me and your brother will absolutely not be looking after the hag in the kid's bedroom, ever. Huh? The hag in the kid's bedroom? Is that supposed to be me? Duh, of course it is, doofus. Joseph told me the other day. It's what kids these days are calling tragic old women like you who never leave their parents' house, apparently. I see. You know, old, single, barren wastelands like you. The only value in you existing now is to help me invest in my son's future. Because it's our duty as humans to breed, multiply, and care for our offspring. It's about time you woke up and smelled the coffee. Larissa, you're the garbage of society. Larissa, you said something to your parents, didn't you? By any chance, are you talking about the money to send Joseph to France for study? I knew it, so you did say something. I didn't say a thing. How can that be? I can't believe my boy finally mustered up the courage to ask his grandparents for the money himself, only for them to go and ask you for it instead? That's because my mom and dad can't afford to help him. He needs $40K after all, right? It's hardly pocket change you're asking for here, Beth Ann. That's a lot of money. I'm not sure why you seem to think my parents have the stuff growing on trees, but they don't. Surely you have some savings stashed away somewhere. I have seen how luxurious your house is. Don't try and pull the wool over my eyes. We live in an aging society now. Life expectancy is up, and I have no idea how long my mom and dad are going to be around, so looking after them during their retirement is a big source of worry for me. Old people get old. It's what they do. This is why the economy's in the shitter, because of tightwads like you sitting on big piles of cash and not spending anything. Look, if you think you'll be able to pay me back, I am happy to give you a loan. But you wouldn't be able to do that, would you? You're horrible. You've got all that money, but you do nothing but hog it to yourself. Why are you so obsessed with pushing this issue in the first place? You know my brother's against it. I think you should be hashing it out between the two of you before making absurd demands of me, you know, given that you are his parents and all. If you have a favor to ask of me, then I'd appreciate if you did it through the proper channels. You think the fact you helped pay for my son's college fund gives you the right to talk down to me? You shut your goddamn mouth. You only give us pocket change anyways. You might not admit it, but I know it's been your dad helping out with his college fund all along. Do you still actually think that? Fine, I'll stop the payments. And what gives you the right to decide what to do with your dad's money? You've got some serious attitude for an unshaven little shut-in hermit living on mommy and daddy's kindness. Know your place. Reading your messages is making me cringe like hell, so you're gonna stop with this bullcrap right now, okay? Beth Ann, I don't know how many times I need to tell you this, but I'm the one paying for Joseph's college fund. I covered the $7,500 for the entry fee, as well as an extra $4,000 this year. You and my brother haven't even contributed a cent. Stop lying, Larissa. It's pathetic. I don't care whether you believe me. The payments for the classes for his last semester will be due soon. But like I just said, I'll be cutting off the payments. Oh, I get it. You're gonna run off with some cooked-up story and tattle on me to your parents so they stop the payments, aren't you? Nope. I most definitely won't be saying a word to either of them because I have no need to. I hope you don't come complaining to me when the money dries up and you realize you can't keep up with the payments anymore. I was only helping out of good faith. But you and Joseph threw it back in my face. You forced my hand with your awful attitudes. You guys are the only ones who need to know your place, and something tells me you will. Very soon. Larissa, there's, a little something I need to talk to you about. What do you want? Is it true you're the one who paid to have your mom and dad's house built? Yep. So does that mean it really was you paying for Joseph's college fund this whole time? The penny finally dropped, huh? Me and my family told you 1,000,000 times over, so I'm surprised it took so long, but I guess better late than never. But I had no idea a woman in her mid-30s like you could be capable of doing all those things. I'm sorry. I swear, I just thought your family was spoiling you out of pity. I got it wrong, Larissa. I'm sorry. Your mom told me all about how you do stocks and shares, crypto, and what was the other one? Drop shipping? She even showed me your Peeps Tube channel, the Side Hustle Queen. I thought I was seeing things when I saw your sub count. Wow. I just want to make it clear that I am really, really sorry for all the rude stuff I said to you. I already decided I'm going to cut you guys out of my life, so you can keep your apologies. I won't stop you having anything to do with my parents, but if you do, make sure you do it somewhere else, because you're officially banned from entering my house ever again. Joseph will be dropping out of college, too. I've filed for reimbursements on everything I paid for the rest of his time there. Don't even say things like that. We're family, right? Joseph's attitude completely changed when he found out his Aunt Larissa had some money. Actually, he said he wants to apologize to you. Actually, the last message I got from Joseph said, "Listen to me, you old hag. Tell my dork loser granddad to gimme my money now." Don't mind that. He just made a misunderstanding, that's all. You did a really good job of raising him, huh? He is just like his mom. I'm really, really sorry. I'll give him a firm telling off for this, I promise. The reason you couldn't afford to get him into college or keep up with the payments in the first place was because of your wasteful spending habits, wasn't it? My brother told me everything. He said he discovered you were in mountains of debt just before Joseph graduated high school. That's where his savings disappeared to. He used them to get you out of debt, right? Wait, what? Reginald told you that? Of course he did. I was paying for your kid's college fund. Did you think he was going to lie to me? I had a right to know why my brother couldn't pay himself. Listen, I don't know what got into me back then. I'm living sensibly now, I promise. My brother doesn't seem to see it that way. What? I told him he doesn't have to bother paying me back for the stuff I couldn't get reimbursed on. But he insisted. He promised to pay me back no matter how long it takes. That's why he set up a separate bank account for monthly repayments on my savings, isn't it? Well, yes. And you've been spending that money too, haven't you? My brother knows everything. No, it's not like that. It's not like I'm wasting it. I just make tiny withdrawals here and there when we can't afford groceries or utilities, that's all. If that was true, why would you hide it from my brother? But because of all the stuff with the debt before, it was difficult for me to tell him we were in the red with the household costs after everything that happened. Difficult or not, he still had a right to know, and you should have told him. Apparently he's so sick and tired of you repeating the same old crap that he's considering divorce. What? Divorce? He told me he thought about it last time when he found out about the debt, too, but decided against it. I guess he must have thought he saw something in you. He knows he was wrong now, though. He said you helping yourself to his bank account was the last straw. Think about it from his perspective. He'll never have any money, no matter how much he saves, as long as he's married to you, will he? And that's not all. You were plotting to scheme and contrive your way into living with our parents, weren't you? No, I just wanted to help them somehow. Drop the act already, Beth Ann. I know you had your sights on the house. They told me how you kept incessantly asking them to let you move in. That's the real reason you kept pestering me to look for a husband and move out, isn't it? I was an obstacle in the way of your sinister little plan, and you needed me out of the house at all costs. Larissa, I'm sorry. I can't believe I was so wrong about so many things. You've done nothing but take advantage of me and my family's goodwill since you got your claws into my brother. We're not going to let you get away with it for a second longer. If you're so desperate for your son to go back to college, then I suggest you find a job and pay for it yourself. No, please, I swear I'll never ask for the France money ever again. I'll never cause you trouble again for as long as I live. Please, I am begging you to forgive me. If you forgive me, Reginald might change his mind on the divorce. This is all your fault, Beth Ann. You made your bed, now lie in it. I'll never forget how disgracefully you treated me and my family. I think giving birth to a child is an amazing thing, but you only have yourself to blame for not being able to afford his college fees. How about you take a long, hard look in the mirror and tell me which one of us is really the garbage of society? At the very least, the only person in my brother's household that's useless is you. Immediately after that, my brother and his wayward wife started living separately as he made the preparations for the divorce. Even after my brother was kind enough to pay off her debts, she kept spending like some high-flying socialite while stealing money from his savings account behind his back. She might have had him fooled for a while, but in reality, she never changed a bit. She thought she could get away with it because she falsely believed my parents were covering my nephew's college fees. Joseph didn't know the truth either because he blindly believed whatever his pathological liar of a mother told him. He even went as far as being cocky with me. When he found out the truth, he showed up at the house in person, got down on his knees, and apologized. He gave up on study abroad in France and promised to focus solely and single-mindedly on his studies for the time being. He seemed sincere, so I decided to believe in him and give him one more chance. But I made it clear that if he ever got an attitude with me or slacked off with his studies again, I'd stop the payments in a heartbeat. It looks like Joseph's going to be staying with my brother, so Beth Ann's going to be all on her own. I find it hard to have any sympathy for a woman who destroyed a happy family due to her own unquenchable greed and selfishness. I never want to see or hear from her again for as long as I live. There's nothing quite as sad as seeing someone treat those who should be the most important to them in the world like crap. I was called lazy, unproductive, and useless for being single. But in spite of that, I still did everything I could to enrich the lives of my family in whatever way I could. This whole thing taught me that some people are beyond saving, and that sometimes you gotta make a bold decision to look out for yourself and your loved ones. My goal from here on out is to focus on my own happiness a little more, and to live life at my own leisurely pace,